what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy. Let's give our final predictions for this LSU-Alabama game. We got Champagne Chans coming up, and we know that the talk there is going to go way off the rails. So, look, I've said my piece about this game. I think Alabama I think they have more talent on the roster right now than LSU does, top to bottom. However, I do not believe that they are maximizing said talent in the same way that LSU is. Look at the fan base of LSU. Look at fans for LSU and how they feel about Blake Baker, and then look at fans of Alabama and how they feel about Kane Womack. And that's just one example, right? I believe that this staff right now is basically really flirting with the max potential of this LSU team, where Alabama's leaving a lot on the table. And you may say, oh, well, T-Bob, that's bad, right? That means Alabama could significantly improve. I don't think so. I think it's too late in the year for that. I think this is a flawed team, and they kind of are what they are. And yes, maybe you're not too well suited to take advantage of where they're super weak. Like, you got to try to run the ball. You got to try to stay on schedule. Alabama's not good at it. You got to prove that you're going to be able to overcome. I hate not having Garrett Dellinger, but I love one element in this more than anything else, and that is the power of Death Valley on a Saturday night. As Les Miles so eloquently said all those years ago, it's the place where opponents' dreams come to die. And what an appropriate setting, what an appropriate line to set up this weekend's game, in which dreams are on the line. Dreams of playing in the first ever college football playoff. Dreams of being able to get into the first tournament and compete for a championship. Dreams of eliminating your arch enemy while putting yourself over the top. And make no mistakes, revenge is in play here. For too many years, Alabama stopped you from your dreams. My dreams, 2011, 2012, the Leonard Fournette Heisman. Alabama was the one that stopped you. And now you have the chance to return the favor. And it comes with the added benefit of their mental insecurity. They're in a precarious spot here, guys, okay? They're in a post-Saban era. They spent all offseason convincing themselves they were going to be just as good. Kalen DeBoer is great, all this sort of stuff. That's fine, all well and good. But you don't lose God and just replace God. And you have a chance to prove that to him. You have a chance to make Kalen DeBoer the first post-Nick Saban year. You have a chance to make that year a failure and put yourself in a position to accomplish your own dreams. Do not let this opportunity slip by. And I don't think this team will. It's year 3 of Brian Kelly. It's an LSU team. That second half in A&M is not indicative of a team that I saw get better every single half of football from that USC game up until those final few minutes 2 weeks ago. One snap and clear, boys. The worst thing you can do is let that disappointment bleed over into this week, and I don't think this team will, because this team's mature and they have a process that they trust, okay? So I think LSU gets it done. I think LSU is the better team. Alabama may have the better parts, but LSU is the better team, and that, combined with the stadium, that is what wins you this game Saturday night.
I love everything that you just said, and I agree with everything that you just said. I do not think that the rosters are as far apart as people think. I think that there is certainly enough playmakers on the LSU side, and I am going to bet on Blake Baker with an extra week. That, to me, is going to be the difference from what it was a year ago to what it is this year. You go back, you look at last year's game. You should have won that game. You didn't win that game because Matt House didn't make adjustments to Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
He did not put a spy on Jalen Milroe. He allowed Jalen Milroe to go win the football game because, egregiously, he ignored the fact that he's one of the better runners in college football.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen from Blake Baker.
No.
Right? The scheme is not going to get you beat. And can you win your individual matchups? I'm just like you, right? When the margins are this thin between the two teams, what can set you apart? I think you are going to be the thing that sets them apart. And by you, I mean LSU fans, Death Valley, Saturday night. All right, Joel Clack can hand wave that because he's never experienced it. I've experienced it. T-Bob's experienced it. Everybody in this room has experienced it. Everybody listening has experienced what we're talking about. We just saw it against Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a really good football team, all right? And you made the difference in that game. You showed up early, you stayed late, and you never stopped.
Yep.
Do the same thing again, because if you do, LSU's going to win.
You know what else I want? And I hesitate if I was going to say this publicly on air. I was just going to tell you all off air during the commercial break. Y'all remember what Dallas Turner did to Jaden Daniels last year?
Mm-hmm.
He assassinated our guy, took him out. The worst part is it wasn't dirty. It wasn't dirty. That was the worst part of that. It was not dirty. It was indicative of you what you wanted out of your defense. You wanted them killers. You didn't have any of this last year. This year you do. You know what I want? I want Braden Swinson to knock Jalen Milroe the hell out. Not with a dirty hit, but with a clean one. Weeks, whatever. I want Jalen Milroe to feel the LSU Tigers. Last year, he probably didn't even need an ice bag after the game. I want this man to feel like he can't even walk by the time the 60 minutes are up. Okay? So get ready. Get ready. You owe this team in so many more ways than one, not the least of which is how they did your Heisman Trophy winning quarterback last season. And I want to do it back to them. So let's freaking go, boys. Let's go. And if you come out to Don Juan tomorrow night, if you can't get tickets to the game, get ready, because we going crazy too. The entire city needs to be on edge. Energy is a real thing, right? You ever seen DBZ when Goku's powering up the spirit bomb? I need everybody's energy ratcheted up Saturday night, feeding in the entire state, feeding into that stadium and willing these players on to bigger and better heights. Game day, the stage. This is why you come to LSU, to play on this stage. You're the main event. You ain't the undercard. Even the Ole Miss game, you were kind of the undercard. Not kind of, you were. You're the main event. You'll have anywhere from 10 to 15 million people watching this game. You make a big play here, too, you get paid. You go down as a legend. So go do it this Saturday night. Let's beat that. I can't curse. Let's beat the Tides ass. Okay, bottom line, beat the Tides ass. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.